Good morning, Be Outdoors Alaska. My name is Brian and I'm here with my son Brock. Today we are going to show you how to set up your fishing pole for surf fishing as far as snagging salmon in Seward, Alaska. Come along with us and we'll show you all the steps to catching your own limit of salmon. We are going to use our greenhouse as our studio.
Welcome to Be Outdoors Alaska. We are going to show you how to set up for snagging for reds in Seward, Alaska.
Right now the sockeye salmon are running pretty good in Alaska, and there are lots of fish to be had. A lot of people want to know exactly what you need to catch sockeye. You can pretty much catch silvers as well, but right now it's sockeye. So this is what we're going to go over. First of all, you need a fishing license, an Alaskan fishing license. Now, if you're 18 or under and you're local, you don't need a fishing license. If you're 16 or under and a non-resident, you don't need a license as well. But a resident annual sport fishing is $20. A non-resident year is $100. So, and you can get like a 1 day, a 3 day, a 7 day, or a 14 day. And they're all different prices. But make sure you have your license, because it will cost you a lot of money and a lot of frustration. We want a sturdy pole. It bends, but when you go to set the hook, it's stiff enough that it will pull the hook into the side of the fish, but not so flimsy when you go to set it. It flexes too much and it won't enter the fish. So we're going to go ahead and use what we have here is an ugly stick, big water. And this is just a pen, just a small little reel we're going to use. You're not really casting very much when you're snagging for salmon. You're almost doing a whipping action, which we're going to show you later. We're going to go ahead and set this up. It's suggested, I guess, that you use 50-pound mono, because
when you hook a red, they fight pretty good.
Yeah, you know you got a fish by the tail, and it will bite. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. We're going to use what we have on hand, which is 80-pound braid. A lot of people will use 50-pound mono. That's perfectly fine. I've tried 20, and we ended up losing a whole bunch of hooks once we hook into them. So we'll go ahead and get set up. Again, this is the ugly stick. It's about 6.5 foot pole, and it just has a little bit of give, but it's not too flimsy. It's stiff enough to set the hook, but not enough to take away your ability to snag the fish. So, okay, first thing we're going to do. So, if you're using braided, you need black electrical tape. I'm just going to go ahead and use duct tape, the cure for everything. And you tear a piece of it. And you want it, if you don't put this on here, the braided will literally spin on the spool, and that will cause an issue. So,
oh, is that why we keep on?
That's why you have it on there. Yeah, if you have one that's spinning, it's because we didn't have anything on there. It gives it something to grab. Otherwise, the braided will come off. Let's just go through the one loop. And then I just do a simple knot. I do it 2 to 3 times. One, I don't want it to pull out. Some people will just do a quick one, and if it happens to hit the end, it's going to break off. So we don't want that. So I did 3, and it's basically a slip knot. It can go bigger or smaller. And then the other thing I do to help with the problem hitting the end, you can hold this right here. Hold this right here, bud. But you see your spool right here. You open your braid, you go around it, and you could tighten it. Well, what I do is I actually take it and twist it opposite directions and go around the pole 3 times. So that last strap has 3 lines on there, not just one. And that's it. And then we just crank it. Yeah, I'm thinking if you put 100 yards on a snagging pole, that's probably all you're gonna ever need, unless you happen to catch a huge king salmon or something like that. You don't want so much line on your pole that it's spooling off on you, and then you have a big bird's nest. We try to avoid putting too much on there. And that's it. Well, that actually worked out pretty good. We were about done.
Yeah.
So now we have the braided line on here. You showed them all to them.
Yeah.
You can see all three. So we like the biggest one. We make them all. If you need any, contact us. We have them for sale. We'll have them in the area, but we'll go ahead and take the 10. Is what you want, right?
Yeah.
Make sure your hooks are straight. You don't want them bent too far in. After you hit a lot of rocks, they'll bend in, and you don't want them bent too far out because the fish will fall off. So this is what they're supposed to look like. This is how I do it. Ready? Just to go around it like 6 times. Keep your finger through the loop. I don't even know how many that is.
Why not do the spin?
Because it's big enough that you can spin it. But so once you have that, then you keep your eyelet open. You go through the hole. You go through the hole like a regular one. But before you tie it all up, before you pull it, this is braided. It's going to come undone. So go out the hole all the way around and then back the opposite way through that same hole. If that makes sense. There's other knots you can use. And there you go. That's it. That's not coming out. It's not going to pull because we did that double knot. We're going to go ahead and get set up. Brock's already got his waders on, and we're going to run over to McDonald's. So the ones that most people go to is off of Nash Road, and it's they call it McDonald's. You can park and free. You just got to walk on the mud flat. So
Takes a while.
it takes a minute, but you'll see all the traffic there. Right across the bridge next to a trailer park. If you go to the right, it's $10 per vehicle. Or if you go in straight, that one's closer. You don't have to walk as far. It's $10 per person. 16 and under are free. And if you don't want to pay any money, go past that location. Don't turn right when you go past the trailer park and go about another half mile. And there's a big pull up right there where everybody can park and free. You just got to walk on the mud flat. So
Takes a while.
So what we typically do is we do it a roll cast. We'll take a hook, you pull out your line, like if you hold your pull up there, it will bounce, and you just whip it and then drag it through the water and pull it fast as you can. And that's all you do. And you'll have a channel of water right there, and you just constantly hit in that hole over and over and over. Another way is they'll go out to where they think the fish are and cast, and they'll reel it in and jerk it, and then reel it in and jerk it. And you just keep doing that all day. That's quite a workout. And then the other people, they'll go out there with their glasses on. You can see the fish below water, and you'll hurry and cast over the top one, let them come under it, and then jerk it and set them. And there's people that are really, really good at doing that. So that's how you're going to hook into them, hit the fish. The deeper the water, the harder it is for you to be on line up and down. So the shallower, the more likely it's going to hit the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, when the fish come up, like they'll come up, and they kind of do these circles. They'll kind of go up the river and then go into the shallow part, and they'll just circle around and around and around. And they're kind of getting used to the fresh water. It knocks off some of the sea lice and all the other things that are on them. And once they decide to go upriver, they typically will go up the channels. And once they're doing that, they're going to keep going all the way up there. In Seward, there is a sign that says no more snagging above this sign. It's basically the high water mark. It's against a lot of snag for salmon above that mark. So just make sure you stay below that. The salmon right now for the reds and silver are 6 fish per day per person. So pretty good sized fish. Want to check choke points in the river, out in the mud flats. They target rivers and head up the stream, and will come in waves. If you can, you want a location when you're fishing that you can drag the fish as fast as you can up on shore, because you'll lose it.
Yeah.
They're going to come on. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a buddy, like a Brock, everybody needs a Brock, and a net. So when I hook one, he'll run over to the net and pick it up and knock it out, and we'll stick it on the streamer and go. But if you're catching them out in the open water without a net or a buddy, it's going to be quite difficult.
To just use those string nets that you can attach to your waders, so when you get the fish close enough, you can just pick it up with the net.
Yeah, the stretchy one.
Yeah, those ones are cool.
And then once you have the fish, you got it on your stringer, reach down, bust out the gills. I know, and then you'll have good, clean meat when you get home. We use a big long string to tie the fish on, run it through the gills and out the mouth. Be careful. If you pull too hard on the mouth, you can separate the jaw, and then you're going to lose your fish off the string. So be careful. The mouth will rip open, and then that loop from the gills out the mouth is not going to help you. Okay, this is Seward. We call it combat fishing. That's what it is. If you don't snag somebody or somebody doesn't snag your stuff, consider yourself lucky, or you just stay away from everybody. So there's a lot of people, and once you catch a fish, someone that sees you catch a fish is gonna come
right
next to you. And when you drag your fish out of there, they're probably gonna fill in right behind you and take your spot. So be prepared for that. Usually, I'll just go right back where I was, pull up 2 feet away from them, and be patient. If you're heading out, try to keep the fish clean and in a secure location. They will fall off. A lot of people will bring a wagon, or actually they use a sled fish in there, which is neat, and it keeps it nice and clean. So you can do that and take it on out. I would make sure you have a bag or something if you're in a car to keep the fish from getting dirty and messy, because then you got to go home and deal with the mess. Once we get home, we fillet the fish. We basically cut the bellies off, cut the belly straight off, and then we cut the fish down the back spine. And so you have 2 sides of the fish and then a belly. And then you have all that waste. But we like to halibut fish. If you like to halibut fish, if it's a female, save the eggs and put them in a bag, because you can make your own roe out of it. And if it's the head and the carcass, save that if you're going to go halibut fishing. So we actually try to use the whole fish for us or for catching other fish. So don't just throw everything away. And once you're done with that, what we do is we take the fish fillet and we brine them in a salt brine. And we'll either smoke it till it's done, or we'll smoke it for a couple hours, and then we'll put it in a pressure canner and bottle it. So that is how we do it. We're going to go out there and we're going to show you a little bit of how we do it. Any questions about what you need, or any ideas or tips or suggestions, please let us know. We love to talk to our viewers, and if you can find polarized glasses like that, you can see into the depth of the water, and you can see the fish a lot easier. So if you have polarized glasses, that's what you want. If you have a thumper to knock the fish out, that's the thing you're going to want. And if you have a net, I would highly recommend a net. If you don't have that, definitely be somewhere close that you can drag the fish up on the shore, because they will come off. The more they flip around, the more they'll come off. So you can catch some big old fish right now. So we would love to see y'all down here in Seward. Come on down. And if you see us fishing, please stop by and say hi.
If y'all see me down there, just drop by and say hi.
Yeah.
Here we are. We are going to head from home over to, we're heading over to McDonald's, is what we call it. It's about 5 miles away from here. Okay, I had to go to the office to pay. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's go. You'll see a sign. What he's talking about is there's some fence posts up here that is considered fresh water. From there up, and it's illegal to snag in. You want to make sure you are on the sea side of that, the saltwater side. We got the weird guys here. How do they know what river to go up?
They have some chemical signals that they will store from when they're fry, so they're able to identify which river to go up into, and then they try to get up the furthest point in that river to spawn. But they still don't know exactly what it is. Some people have theorized that they can use like the magnetism of the specific river to migrate to, but it's not really entirely known.
Here we are, and Alaska Department of Fish and Game saltwater, freshwater rate utility marker. All water upstream of the marker or designated freshwater. So anywhere downstream. See how he's not casting it, he's just rolling it. Trying to bring it right through the hole, slowly drag it. Let it hit the bottom and then pull it slowly. You don't want the hook. Here we have Ryan showing us how to flip. You just go up to a channel and let it drop, hit the bottom, and then rip it through there and hope that you hook one. This is probably the most common way of snagging salmon here. Like I said, some people will sight, they'll go looking for them and cast over them and jerk them into that way. And then other people will just make a long cast and make little jerking motions over and over and just hope that they hit one. All right, we appreciate everybody coming along with us, and we will see you on the next one. Now, let's go be outdoors in Alaska next time.